everybody, this is Gail. Welcome back, returning volunteers. We're really happy that you've decided to assist us again this year with our Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Preparation Program. Our goal this year is a lofty one, and with your help, we'll be able to achieve it. This year, we've added a few videos we're asking each of our volunteers to take a look at before reporting to one of our site locations. They're short and a little comical and provides perspective in our VITA tax program. As in years past, everyone must certify in these two areas before we can even begin to take any of the online test exams. Ethics speaks to what the VITA program is all about, as well as what we will and will not do while volunteering. The intake interview and quality review carries a global consent form to disclose information to other VITA site locations. The consent will need to be signed by the taxpayer. The consent signifies, yes, I, that is the taxpayer, consent to have my tax information available to other authorized VITA or TCE tax preparation sites. By consenting, the taxpayer is then able to go to any VITA TCE tax preparation site across the country to have their return prepared, and their crucial information will automatically be pulled up or pulled in or populated. This gives you, the tax preparer, gives you an opportunity to save some keystrokes as you prepare their tax returns, as well as reduces the likelihood of errors being made in those areas. Now, speaking of exams, each of us will be certifying to the advanced level. Once again, in order to certify, you must score at least 80% on the exam. You will have two opportunities to make that score. If you score 80%, that means you've passed. You cannot return to the test in hopes of making a higher score if you score 80% or better. If you pass, you passed. In addition to the two certification videos previously mentioned, there are 4 other short videos that you should be viewing. They are Why I Care, or Why I Volunteer, I Care, which is a customer service video, Diversity Client Population, which deals with how resources are viewed over the class or over class and over population lines. And lastly, the video dealing with financial literacy or financial champion. Once you have viewed these videos, please annotate that you viewed them in your own volunteer account in Better Impact. The software we continue to use is the TaxSlayer Pro Online software. This software has become our software of choice, and this year it has improved even beyond last year. This year, you will really have to pay attention to the screens because a couple of things have changed up. A number of improvements have been made to the software this year. The directional tabs remain going down the left-hand side. The refund calculator has returned again this year. And it is critical that you read each screen in order to accurately and completely prepare the taxpayer's tax return. When preparing the returns in the TaxSlayer Pro Online, you will always need to work all the way through down to the screen Ready for Review. At the Ready for Review screen, you may close the return and call for a quality reviewer to review your input work. There are a couple of more screens that have been added this year, but I'm confident that you can maneuver from screen to screen down to the Ready to Review screen, and you'll be able to figure out all of that. Publication 4491 is the primary training guide, along with other publications this year. When used in conjunction with Publication 4012, you should be able to perform well on the test as well as prepare a complete and accurate taxpayer return. By the way, Publications 4491 and Publication 17 are both online and in paper format. However, publication 4012 comes in an electronic version only. You're expected to bring your publication 4491 with you when you report to the site location for ready reference. There will be a printed version of publication 4012 available at each site. Another resource book is the publication 17, your Federal Income Tax Guide. This resource guide will be available at each site for the site's use as well. An accurate return happens when the tax law is applied correctly and the return is free from error. Accuracy is achieved by obtaining information and supporting documents from the taxpayer during the intake and interview process. Speaking of tax booklets, this slide represents the books you should have in your possession. Pub 4491, once again, is our primary resource book. This book is your friend. Use it. Form 6744 is the book that houses all of your tests as well as your retests. Suggestion: answer the questions in the test booklet first before selecting your answers in the online test. Here's another freebie. Read the entire question before you respond to it. When you take the test online, it is scored instantly. It behooves each of us to read and reread the question and then review your answers before hitting the submit button at the bottom of the online test. Did I say review? That's a critical part of taking a test. Publication 4491W contains additional scenarios and exercises should you choose to go there. Now this slide shows VITA site available positions. Additionally, Dallas Community Tax VITA centers are located across the city of Dallas, as well as some of the smaller suburban cities. We are at churches, universities, shared ministries, and charities. Our locations are situated in the north, the northwest, south, and the east areas of Dallas. In your folder, you will find the items annotated on the screen. We will briefly talk about the items on the agenda. Since you are returning volunteers, you don't require the in-depth version. The Form 1040 typically do not change very much from year to year. However, this year the form has changed drastically. So read it very carefully and follow it line by line. Form 13614C, nothing changed except the color of the form. Also, I said nothing changed, but there is the global consent that is now on page 4 of the form. All the taxpayer identifying information is still required. The picture ID, Social Security cards, ID letters and numbers for each person being claimed on the return, income statements, etc. Remember, this form is used to interview the taxpayer after the taxpayer has completed all the required parts of the form. The training computer certification websites. This sheet contains the website locations as well as some of the initial passwords for the TaxSlayer Pro Online. Taxpayer Pro Online is where you will input the taxpayer test scenarios from the test booklet. We have our resource website, which is where you can go to get help and to locate different pieces of specific information. So go there sometime and check it out. Publication 4491 contains the contents. The part 1 deals with important changes for the current year. Read through all that information that is located there. Course Introduction, Legislative Extenders. What laws were extended from last year into the current year, and then the Affordable Care Act information. Part 2 speaks to determining the filing status and exemption. Part 3 moves us to how to determine taxable income. All income, as you know, is taxable unless expressly exempt by the federal tax law. Part 4 teaches how to determine adjusted gross income, or AGI. Parts 5 and 6 moves us to computing the tax and tax credits. Part 7 gets us to the refund and the refundable credits area of the tax return. Parts 8 and 9 talks about amended returns and prior tax return filings. As mentioned earlier, the companion publication to 4491 is publication 4012. That one we're all familiar with. It closely follows the same format as the 4491, but contains a number of the TaxSlayer Pro Online input screenshots to help us to see how things will look in the software. That is publication 4012. In tab A of publication 4012, we deal with who must file. Be sure to familiarize yourself with each of the charts shown under that tab. Tab B is the filing status, how to start a return in TaxSlayer, as well as the filing statuses. Tab C deals with dependents. Tab D is income. This tab is pretty substantial because it contains examples of different income items along with the different TaxSlayer screenshots. Tab E is the adjustment sections, including information regarding individual retirement accounts. TaxSlayer lists all the adjustments as it pertains to the 1040, as well as the applicable schedules, the applicable new schedules, I should say. Tab F deals with deductions. This section covers the standard as well as the itemized deductions. Tab G is the non-refundable credits. These are the credits that are used to reduce the tax liability only. There's no money in the pocket, except it may be American Opportunity and the additional child tax credits. Tab H deals with the other taxes and ACA. That's the switch from the previous year. Last year, ACA had a tab all its own in the publication 4012. However, once again, I have to give it to the product producers a better job this year than the previous years. There are more examples of ACA exemptions, repayments of the premium tax credits, as well as net premium tax credits. Remember, the premium tax credit is only available to the taxpayers who had marketplace or exchange health insurance. If the taxpayer has a marketplace exemption, they should have a letter from the marketplace showing an exemption number, the year of the exemption, and who the exemption applies to. Tab I is our Earned Income Credit tab. Tab J deals with the education benefits, including scholarships and fellowships. Tab K finishes the return, covering the quality review procedures, refund, as well as savings information, etc. The remaining tabs are informational tabs. Tab L deals with residents and non-resident alien decision charts, etc. Tab M speaks to the amended returns as well as prior year returns. Tabs O, P, and Q contains great information, so peruse those tabs as well. At some points, they could provide some insight for you. Our job as tax preparers is to prepare a complete and accurate return using the TaxSlayer Pro Online software, along with the publications 4491 and publication 4012. This has not changed in many years. Once the tax preparer has entered all the required data into the TaxSlayer Pro Online, the preparer then moves to the left navigational bar and clicks e-file. Don't worry, you won't be able to e-file. The TaxSlayer does display the e-file page, however. The tax preparer should then complete any required information on this page and click Save. This is the area where the global consent page appears. You will then click the consent box and the tax layer then displays the submission page. Verify all the information is as correct on this page. In the review status area, select Ready for Review and check the box. Click Save and exit the return. TaxSlayer Pro closes the return, enabling the quality reviewer to open the return to begin the quality review process. Use this sheet as you prepare to input your test scenarios into the practice lab in TaxSlayer Pro Online. This sheet is in your participant folder. There are 3 scenarios that must be input into TaxSlayer in order to arrive at your answers to the test questions. They are scenarios 5, 6, and 7. If you don't have a VitaCentral password, establish one using number 3 VitaCentral information from your handout sheet. Or if you already have an account, simply log into it now. After you're in VitaCentral, move over to the right and click on the Practice Lab. Use item number 4 from your handout sheet for help getting to the TaxSlayer Pro Online software. In order to take the test, go to VitaCentral, input your username and your password, go to the Advanced tab and click on it and launch it to begin to take the test. The test has a bookmarking feature, meaning you can begin the test, log out of VitaCentral, and resume at another time, and the system will take you back to where you left off. Remember to take your time and read what is on the screen in TaxSlayer Pro Online to ensure that you are inputting the correct information. Remember to read the test critically before responding. Review all of your answers before submitting the test for scoring. The Submit button is at the bottom of the answer page. All right, go for it. Hope to see you at one of the sites. Take care, everybody.